We're going live. We're on the air. We're live. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. How are you today? Just getting my camera set up, getting my phone set up, making sure I'm all set up. And yeah, how's it going there, you guys? Welcome to Tuesday. Oh, two for Tuesday. 5 o'clock show right now. 8 o'clock trivia tonight. I'm ready. I got trivia questions for you guys. I'm putting you to work. And then I'm gone for a few days. I'm not on tomorrow. I'm not on Thursday. And I won't be on Friday. I'll be driving tomorrow. I'll be driving Friday. Doing some work in Calgary, some more business on Calgary. So it'll be a bit of a gap until Saturday's show. But, there's always reruns. And I get messages from you all the time. You tell me that you watch my rerun or you missed my live show and then you catch the show. It's great. I love it. I get the belated thumbs ups. Love those. I get the comments from you guys, and I reply to you, and it just helps the analytics all along. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. Love it. Thank you for all of your continued loyalty to my little old channel. That's fantastic. Speaking of the channel, 1,907 subscribers, 93 to go, and we break 2,000 subs. Wow. Unbelievable. May the 8th today, 2018. So in 4 days, it'll be 9 months that I've been on the air. Wow, 9 months already. I can't believe it. Just can't believe it's happening so fast. So much has gone on. I look at videos I made back in August last year, September, October, and I just, you always shake your head at what you did before versus what you do now. I mean, we always think we're better. We're better at everything going forward. But it's an interesting transformation, how the channel has how it started off and how it began to sort of find itself, how I tried to figure out what I was doing with this channel. And I realized after about a month and a half, 2 months in, whenever I started talking about cruise ship vacations, my ratings went up. Like my numbers just went nuts. I talk about my trips to Berlin, which I personally love to do. Nobody cared. Talk about my trips to talk about doing videos like in Italy, nothing. Talk about videos from California, nothing. Just nobody cared about traveling with Bruce in California. But when Traveling with Bruce started talking about cruise ships and cruise ship holidays and going on vacations on cruise ships and that type of thing, oh boy, there'd be interest, very much so. So that kind of told me what I had to do. I kind of, the viewers let me know what they wanted to see and what they wanted to have. Sorry, I keep adjusting this camera. Trying to get it just right. Anyway, exciting stuff. Of course, I love talking about cruise ships, as you folks know. I love talking about cruising and going on a cruise holiday, or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20. And then in around December, when the channel broke 100 subscribers, and we were gaining subscribers every day, I decided over the Christmas holidays that the future was going to be live streaming. I was going to attempt to do some live streaming. It's the big unknown. I had no idea how it would fare. Didn't know if it would take. Didn't know if it would work. Wasn't sure how I was going to gather my research up and all that sort of stuff. And so I thought, well, when you get back after New Year's, we'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens with live streaming, and we'll talk to people on a daily basis, give it a try, and see if it does any good or not. And let's go from there. And then January 6th, I did the first sort of half-hour, let's give it a try deal. And then on January the 8th was the first time that I started to react to my peeps on my channel live, and it just went over very well. And I noticed the numbers just kept growing and growing day after day, week after week, into mid part of January and into February. The numbers really started to go. And view time went up, and engagement was up, and the thumbs ups were much higher than the thumbs downs, and all this good stuff. And I was enjoying it. I personally just love it. And so here we are now, May the 8th. I keep looking over here going, hey, is it really the 8th? Yeah, it's the 8th of May. 2018. It's what's that? February, March, April. This is the February, March, April. This is 4 months. 4 months of being live on YouTube on daily streaming. Unbelievable. I started off doing, I think, 3 or 4 shows a week. Quickly went to 6 shows a week, 1 a day for 6 days. Then I added the primetime Tuesday and Thursday shows. So now I'm on 8 times a week live. putting 10 to 12 hours of content on a week just on these live streams. Having a blast, and I think we're having a good time all around. I think my regulars love it. I keep attracting new people, and now people are contacting me on cruise ships. People who are on cruises right now live. Almost every day, someone is talking to us. So who's on a cruise? It's incredible. I never thought that would happen, and I'm just loving that too. Love to get updates from people who are on board cruise ships and letting us know how they're doing. What else is going on? Lots happening on the YouTube side of things, the corporation and the channel, the entity itself. There's a lot going on there. They're making all kinds of adjustments and improvements and whatever, a lot of which don't really apply to me personally or my type of delivery. But you know, they are expanding their, you know, their technology and their ability to bring on additional type of programming, because the studies tell them, the stats tell them what you folks are doing with YouTube. More and more folks are watching YouTube on their televisions. They're not even watching them on their phones or on the laptops. What I mean, they are, but more and more folks are shifting to the TV, and they want to see Bruce, you know, this big. It's incredible. I love it. And so they're adapting to the changing way. It's just amazing what is happening. As far as monetization goes, I'm still starving. No revenue from YouTube whatsoever. I'm working for free still. I am grateful for any super chats I get from you guys, although I prefer PayPal's donations, as most of you know who are regulars of the show during the day. For those of you who are not, and you're watching this for the first time today or tonight or next week, I survive from donations from my viewers. That's plain and simple. That's all there is to it. This is my full-time job. I don't have any other kind of work that I do. This is it, and I want this to continue to be my full-time job. I want to start traveling, take you on the road with me, and experience you know, more and more cruises, and get to meet you in person, and just keep going from there. So whenever I get donations in there, they're lifeblood of this channel. I think going forward, down the road, even a month or two or three, once YouTube gets its act together regarding who's monetizable and who's not, once I am remonetized, I'm pretty sure I will be. It won't be a lot of money from YouTube anyway. If I get $5 or $10 a day, that'll probably be about the extent of the numbers at the beginning. I don't do 1 million views a day. I'm not that kind of a YouTube channel. I don't take you on roller coaster rides. I don't do stunts with cars. I don't blow things up. Just talk. And so I have a steady, strong following of viewers that are quite loyal to the channel, and I want to expand that group. And I will be. It's happening as we're speaking, and it'll continue to happen. And there'll be a point in time where I will have 10,000 views a day, maybe 20,000 views a day, and the channel will generate 1,000 a month, 1,200 a month in revenues from YouTube. But I can't live on that, obviously. Who can? It's impossible. Can't travel on that. Impossible. So I have to have other income streams coming in, and I have those beginning to build now. I've got my store. My YouTube channel has a store on Redbubble. There's a link on my homepage on the upper right-hand corner. You can go to my store and pick up any item you want, from a t-shirt to a coffee mug to stickers. There's a bunch of logos now available, Traveling with Bruce logos, that you can choose whatever item you want, or items, and I get proceeds from that. And that's handy for me because I don't have to handle any of the logistical part of that, which is fantastic. Lets me concentrate on this right here. But it's super chat donations while I'm on live, or PayPal donations while I'm on live or after hours. And that's been helping me a lot. The PayPal I prefer because 93% comes to me instantly, where with super chat I get 70% of the proceeds, and it takes upwards of 4 to 6 weeks to get those proceeds because they're in the system for a while, and then there's a cutoff once in a month. But whatever works is great with me. I'm looking at other ways of generating income with this channel, but I don't have enough subscribers to really go there yet. Affiliate links is another one that I'm looking into, and there's a possibility for that. I'm not sponsored by a cruise ship company, cruise line. I'm not sponsored by any travel agency out there. I'm my own individual. I'm not employed by anybody. And so my opinions are my own. And the time will come where I will do meet and greet cruises, hopefully starting later this fall. And we'll get together and have fun, and get to meet and compare notes and share stories and experiences, and you name it. So there it is. If you're new to this channel, I love talking about cruise ships. Ask me any question you want. Just text on in there. What do you want to know? I'm happy to try to answer any questions you have. There are new ships coming online all the time. There are ships being renovated, refurbished all the time now. There are quite a number of cruise ships out there, hundreds now, that are plying the seas 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and there's a lot going on. And the major cruise lines are doing a lot of upgrades to their ships, a lot of changes to their ships. Cruise ships today do not represent or resemble what they looked like 10, 15 years ago, and 20, 30, 40 years before that, they've changed again. I mean, they've just completely changed over. A modern cruise ship, a brand new modern cruise ship hitting the seas today, has amenities on board that were unthinkable 40 years ago, 50 years ago when I was a child, when my mom and dad were, running the house. When I was just a little guy, it was like a 10, 15-year-old kid. What cruise ships were then versus what they are now. Whoa, man, what a difference. And I'm sure in 20, 30 years from now, cruise ships will be completely different again. They just do not stop with the innovations, because passengers like us, we demand certain conveniences on board cruise ships now that we wouldn't have dared want or thought we could get 20, 30 years ago. Cruise line operators now know that they can compete with full-blown resorts in any locale you can imagine. They can compete for amenities with downtown hotels in major cities around the world. The amenities you can get in the Hilton in downtown New York, you can get those same amenities on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean between Europe and North America, or circling New Zealand, or heading to Fiji, or whatever. You're totally in touch with family, friends, and the office if you want to be, or not. And you've got all the conveniences of modern life, a first world living on a cruise ship, where back in the 40s and 50s, the only way across the Atlantic affordably, practically, was taking a steamship, an ocean liner, and you just adapted to the life of an ocean liner. And there were amenities, but then there weren't, and you just kind of adapted. And to pass the time during the day on a sea day crossing the Atlantic, you played shuffleboard, unless it was too windy and wavy. You read a book, or you maybe you took a swim if it was summer. If it wasn't summer, unless you had an indoor pool, which generally these ships really didn't, although some might have, you had limited numbers of possibilities of how to pass the time. And the big deal for you was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those were your big events. You spend an hour at breakfast, an hour and a half, 2 hours at lunch, and a good 2-hour dinner every night. And that killed a lot of your day to minimize the boredom, to get you through to showtime, the dance hall, hang out at the lounge, that kind of. Today, oh my gosh, what can you do on a cruise ship today? My goodness, how can you pass the time? If you've got kids, you're a god. You take 8 and 10-year-old children on any age children. I mean, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14-year-old kids on a Royal Caribbean ship like the Symphony of the Seas, the Harmony of the Seas, or a Disney cruise. Oh man, you as parents are gods. just you've just hit the home run with these guys, because they can't believe all the stuff they can do on a cruise ship. They just can't believe it. A 1-week cruise goes by like that. They don't want to leave. They don't want to go back home. Are you kidding? This has been paradise. So it's been quite a transformation for children and for adults on what we can and cannot do on cruises. Today's topic was, I'm asking, what's your favorite entertainment option on a cruise ship? When you're on a cruise, what is it you love to do? What is it for entertaining that really turns you on? Is it the big show at the end of the day? Do you want to go to the ballroom, the main showroom, see a production of Grease, or Jersey Boys, or Blue Man Group, or the comedians, or the singers, or the vaudeville, whatever it is? Or are you interested more in the comedy clubs, or the piano bar? Do you just like hanging out on the pool deck and watching the movie at night? It's like being at a drive-in without the car, lying down in a couple of loungers and having some popcorn that they're making right over here, and having a hot dog or a burger that they're making right over there, and having the waiter coming by and refilling your drinks for you. And is that your idea of a good time? Is it going to the casino? Is it going? Is your main entertainment during the day? Forget the evenings, because in the evenings you eat, and after that you walk around a little bit, and then you pack it in, go to your room, and watch a movie on your television set and go to sleep. Or is it during the daytime? Do you love playing trivia on board the cruise ships? Is that your number one entertainment enjoyment? All the other games that they play on these cruise ships with audiences. Or do you love watching the diving shows on the back of the Allure of the Seas and the Oasis of the Seas, the big Oasis class ships that they have on Royal Caribbean? What is it for you? Are you a kid at heart and you love the water slides? Do you love to go down to the ice skating rink or go roller skating, or do you like the bumper cars? What is it? I mean, what isn't there to do on a cruise ship? My goodness, the events and the what you can do on a cruise ship just blow people away. It isn't like bingo anymore and skeet shooting out the back. Things have changed big time. So if you're new to this channel, I hope you're learning a lot. And if you're not new to this channel, welcome back for another episode, Traveling with Bruce. I want to say hi to my folks here today. Right now here in Creston, where I am, we've got to be approaching 70 degrees today. It's absolutely gorgeous, clear blue skies on the day before I take off for Calgary with Jen, my better half. Very calm day, no wind, but apparently the next 3 days we're getting showers. So we're heading out of town just as the weather gets crappy, but we're going to be crappy in Calgary too, so I can't escape the weather. But gorgeous day today for sunshine. And then when I get back Saturday, sunny. Sunday, we might hit 80 degrees on Sunday here in Creston. It's going to be a warm one, so it's coming around. Summer's coming in here fast. Who said hi to me first? It was Peter Heckema, who's telling me at 4:18 today. Good afternoon, Bruce, from poolside here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. 87 degrees, and the temperature of the water is 86 degrees. Oh, nice. Our first 90-degree days start on Thursday this week, and tonight is trivia night. That's right. You know, it's trivia night. Randy Lucas is telling me, saying, greetings, Bruce and all, from 100 miles west of Las Vegas, baby. Michelle and I are on a road trip, sunny and 100 degrees today, and yes, we've got ants in our pants. They got travel pants on. They can't sit still. They're moving. They're on the move. This is awesome. Love it, Randy. Fantastic. Iskew Park. Hi, Bruce. Hello, my fellow subbers. It's Iskew from Thunder Bay, Ontario, where it's +8 here. A bit on the cool side and overcast with light rain. Not pretty, but it's still washing away that snow. Iskew Park, my favorite entertainment on any ship is the adult comedy shows. Love them. Yeah, they are pretty good. I love the improv comedy. I know Norwegian has had that, and I enjoy very much the improv comedy. They'll have 5 or 6 or 7 of these guys and girls coming in, and you have no idea what they're going to do. They have no idea what they're going to do. It's just fun. It's just great. Wes Morrison, howdy, 97 here in New Braunfels, Texas. Wes, you're getting up to 100. It's coming up there. Tracy Dunlap, hi all, 91 Fahrenheit. And hot and humid in Naples, Florida right now. Not much of a breeze either. Oh, thankfully, nephew's baseball game not until 7:30 tonight. Hopefully a little cooler by then. I remember when I lived in Palm Desert, California with Jen and our daughter, Jen Jr., little Jen. We, Friday nights were football, high school football. So our daughter's in high school at Palm Desert High, and she wasn't a cheerleader or anything like that. We would just go to the Friday night game to watch the game. It was a lot of fun. And we'd meet the other adults and say hi and all that. And the good news about high school football, in September, when school's back in, and September, October, they're playing the football. The game would start in the evenings. So in September, when the games would start, it would be maybe 7 o'clock kickoff, 7:15 kickoff time. It'd be dark. Because we would get dark down in Palm Desert in September by 6:30, something like that. But it would still be 90 degrees. It would just be hot, like not baking heat, but warm, but no sunshine. The sun isn't baking you down at like 90 degrees with the sun on you versus 90 degrees in the evening. There's a difference. And being outside, we're watching the game. If there's a little breeze, just a little breeze, oh, that brought it down to made it feel like 80. And you're wearing your shorts and your flops and shirt like this, you're fine. So that was great. As the game would go on, the evening would go on into the second half, and now it would be like 8:30 ish, closer to 9 o'clock at night. temperature would be down in the low 80s now. So it'd still be nice, still be okay. And we'd go home just like this. But about 3 weeks later, right around the end of, middle of the end of October, it's all different now because now it's dark. Yeah. But kickoff time, it's 75, maybe 80. And at halftime, it's 70. And in the third and fourth quarter, 60, 65. And a little breeze, feels like 55. I get a little nippy up. So we would have our windbreakers, and I'd be wearing my long khaki pants, and that would be good. But then the next shift would be November for this. If the team was any good, we'd get into the playoffs. Well, every week we'd keep playing. And so now we're into the middle, third week of November, towards the end of November. And the game time temperature in the dark would be 60. And by halftime, it'd be 50. And it'd be 45, 50 with a little breeze in the fourth quarter. It's getting cool now. Getting a little too cold. And now you're packing a little more stuff. So I remember those days going to the football games on Friday nights, high school football. I couldn't believe it as a Canadian. I couldn't believe it. We would have at this high school, we have two stands. We had the one stand, which was the home field stand. That's where the home crowd would be hanging out. And on the opposite side of the field would be the visitors stand. And the visitors would have 1,000 people that would come with the team. 1,000 of them would be over there. And they got the concession stand there. They got their bathrooms and everything. And on our side, we have 4,000. 5,000 people coming to a high school football game on a Friday night in Palm Desert, California. Every Friday or every second Friday, because we'd have a road game, we'd have a home game. I couldn't believe it. I mean, when I was in high school in Ontario, we had our football team playing. The school across from us with their fans, there'd be 20 of them. And then on our side, our home game, that'd be like 300 of us. We didn't care. It was just high school football, whatever. But in the United States, oh my goodness. In Palm Desert, California, and then going into Pomona and then some of these suburbs of Los Angeles, when we would be in the playoffs, we had to play some of these division teams, get our butts kicked by these guys. 5, 6, 8,000 people at these games. Holy moly, couldn't believe it. This is just high school. And what's the mission in life for a high school football player? Get a scholarship to go to college and play college football. Yeah, that was the mission in life. Get an opportunity for a diploma. Now, some of these kids, they only wanted to play ball, and that's all they ever wanted to be were ball players. Where a lot of these kids, they were playing football, yeah, but really they wanted to get into college to get the free ride because you had to pay 20 thou a semester or 40 thou a year or whatever it was to go to school. You wanted to be in an athletic program and have it be paid for you. So, yeah, high school football, high school swimming, high school anything in the U.S., big deal compared to Canada. Just not the same. It's amazing. I'm a little off track, but memories, they just come back to you. Tracy Dunlap, baseball game I meant? Baseball game. Okay. Baseball game. Right on. Paul Wilgus, hey, Bruce and all. 69 here in Virginia. Hi, Paul. Pamela Jordan, hi, Bruce and everyone. Mostly cloudy, 77 Fahrenheit in Ivy, South Carolina. Welcome, Pamela. Welcome back. As always, Scott Batchley, hi, guys. Another nice day in Ventura, 67 and sunny. That is pretty consistent. Thomas Henry, hi, all. 77 in Richmond and sunny. Wendy Thompson is here. Hi, guys. What a wonderful day for us. Lawn is getting mowed 80 around here. Oh, isn't that great? Thomas Henry back from Barcelona at 8 p.m. yesterday. The house is swaying. Oh, no. Thomas, I'm sorry you're back. I'm glad you had a great trip. I'm sorry you're back. Michelle Lucas out in our big-ass RV road trip, she's saying, taking a break from big ships, going places with smiling faces in our big-ass RV. I love it. I know what that feels like, getting a big ass RV with those 4 slide outs. Boy, that's got to be something. Pulling your car behind you. Seakeeper. Hi, Bruce and all. It's 88 Fahrenheit in the shade here in Tequila, Florida South. A slight breeze, low humidity, 100% sunny and very enjoyable. Thumbs up. Is that wonderful or what, sir? Welcome back as always. Always a pleasure to have you here. That's awesome weather. Wendy Thompson, Cards are playing today. Cards are playing today. That would be the Cardinals. I'm thinking that's who that would be. Michelle Lucas, fave is people watching. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to love watching the peeps, watching those people. Karen Lipshin, 104 in Phoenix. 104. Gary's off to the pool, but I'm here and listening. Welcome, Karen. Now you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. He's not there. You know, we can share. There's nobody here but us. That's great, Karen. Welcome back. Nina, Frank from Sweden. Hi, Bruce and Jen and all. Greetings from a warm Sweden, 15 degrees Celsius, and it's 11 p.m. That's not too bad at all. Fantastic, Nina. Debbie Emanuel is here. Hi, Debbie. Hi, everyone. Already 83 in Chico today and full sun. 83 in Chico. That is fantastic. Welcome, Debbie Emanuel. It's great to have you back. Karen Lipson just finished listening to yesterday's show. Very informative, Bruce. Thank you for researching that out. Oh, it was my pleasure. We're talking about how cruise ships are changing and what they're eliminating and what they're bringing in the future. Nina Frank, scary though, sad that it's all about the money. Scary though, it's all about the money. Well, you know, cruise ships are all about money. They cost a fortune to build. They cost a fortune to operate, and they're trying to find ways to keep the costs down so they maximize their profits. They're trying to find a way to raise those revenues best they can, and they're against each other, and they're against the Disney Worlds of this world, the Universal Studios, the Disney Europes. They're against the Eiffel Tower. They're up against the Colosseum in Rome. Everybody wants your money. Everybody wants you to come by and visit. Vegas wants you. So these cruise ships have to have a way. They got to figure out a way. How can we be relevant in the travel business to attract people to us? What do we have to do? What innovations can we put on our ships in an economical way to make it work? And these changes I talked about yesterday are just a signal, a sign of what's happening and what's going to continue to happen. It's amazing. Wendy Thompson, comics. Ah, yes, she loves comics on cruise ships. There you go. Nina Frank will probably say eat. I love to eat on cruise ships. That's my form of entertainment. It's one of my big ones, that's for sure. Wendy Thompson, when we worked, it was let me sit, eat, and drink. That's right. Let me just relax. Let me just stop the routine at the house, get away from those kids and their relatives and all that, get away from my boss and those coworkers, and just let me unwind on a cruise ship. You bet. Peter Heckema, we love going to specialty restaurants and then going to shows at night. We have always loved the entertainment on Royal Caribbean ships, very professional shows. There you go. And what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing is wrong with that. Absolutely. Jim Thomas, good afternoon, everyone. 84 here in Anderson, California today. Hoping you're having a great day today. Jim, thank you. Hope your knee is getting better. I know you had that operation about a week and a half ago. Hope it's coming around pretty good. Karen saying singer and dancers for sure. She's saying the energy they put out to entertain us is phenomenal. At times we go to both shows because, why not catch one and catch the second? Fantastic entertainment, and they do work hard, very hard. Madison DeMarco is here. Madison, how are you? Hey, peeps, she's saying. Welcome back. Madison is our 14-year-old viewer. Madison, I don't know where you live. Are you in Louisiana? I forgot. Is it Louisiana? You told us, didn't you? I think you're down there. Is it New Orleans? I can't remember if it's New Orleans. Anyway, welcome back, Madison. It's great to have you around. Seakeeper, I love live performers. There was this string quartet on the Caribbean Princess that played in the atrium. They stopped traffic every time they set up. And I love piano bar and karaoke too. Right on. Nice variety. Yeah, you get a real top-notch group together, and they just stop traffic dead in their tracks. Absolutely. Tommy Eaton, hi Bruce and all. 81 in Jacksonville, Florida, with a nice breeze. Going on a first cruise Saturday. We'll let you know about our favorite entertainment when we get back. Absolutely. I want to hear all about it, Tommy. Tell me your impressions about this. What are your thoughts? I'm quite interested to hear your first take for your first taste of going on a cruise. Gregory Hartman is here. Go, Caps, go from Tampa here. Well, they made it. They beat the Penguins for the first time in I don't know how many tries. They're through to the next round, and now they got to play the #1 team in the NHL, Tampa Bay Lightning. Cross your fingers. See how it goes. Should be entertaining. Peter Heckema, when you live in a climate where it is in the high 80s and 90s and it goes down to 75 at night, you can really feel cold. Northerners look at you funny. Northerners look at you funny when you say that, but it's true. It is true. I totally agree. I remember my first winter in the Cayman Islands, tropical island in the heart of the Gulf of Mexico, south of Cuba, and the island all-time record low temperature, 54. That's what in history. We were there one day. It was a January day evening after school, and it was a bit breezy, and the temperature was 59. It broke 60, and they were talking about it on the radio all day. They were saying it's expected. We're going to break 60 degrees tonight, expected overnight low, and it happened. And we happened to be that particular day. I don't know why it worked out this way, but picked up our daughter from school. We did a couple of little things running around, and we ended up at the old KFC because they got Kentucky Fried Chicken on the Cayman Islands, like 5 locations. It's unbelievable. The island's addicted to KFC. And we picked up, a couple of meals, and we decided we'll go to 7 Mile Beach where the cabanas are, because it's now 5 in the afternoon. The sun is setting at 5:30, and the cruise ships are gone. They're gone. The tourists are all gone. The visitors for the day. It's just us islanders and visitors that are in the hotels in the resorts that are left. So we get to the beach, and a little windy, but it was all right. It was sunny and gorgeous. Love to watch the sunset looking west on 7 Mile Beach towards Mexico. Basically, is what we were seeing. And we had our meal, and our daughter was running around the sand having a wonderful little time. She's about 12 or 11 at the time, 11, 12. And Jen and I are sitting there on the picnic table, on the top of the table, looking out under the cabana, just looking out. And got a little cool. Got a little cool. We went from this higher 60s, 70 range. We were getting down, and we were in the low 60s. And there was this little breeze. And funny enough, the water line, the beach, was probably about 100 feet away from us. But it just so happened that a nice sized wave came in, and you know how they crash and they foam up, and the wind sort of picked up a bit of the mist, the water mist, and it carried it long enough so that it actually just touched our skin, the hairs on our skin. And you know what it's like, folks, when you have water touching your skin and then you've got air blowing on it, it feels cold. And all of a sudden, we just went like this. And I looked at Jen, and she looked at me, and we shook our heads, and we thought, oh, the island is in a panic. I'm sure all islanders who are out there are in a panic because it's cold. So the next day at the office where I worked in offshore finance, there were about 4 employees there who were native islanders, Kamanians, great folks. And they came in with sweaters on. They had their windbreakers. I laughed. I thought, this is great. It's so true, Peter, what you're telling me about how people look at you funny. Like, are you kidding me? You can't be cold. But the islanders, they thought, oh, this is a blast. This is a winter blast. And it hit 59, the overnight low, or, a couple hours, and then it went back over 60. But yeah, it is wherever you live and wherever you travel to, you got to get used to the local ways. And for those of us from the north, like where I'm from, the Great White North, a temperature swing from 70 degrees one day to 20 degrees the next, that's kind of normal around here. But down in the tropics, oh my goodness, you go from the 80s to the 50s. Oh, you're talking a whole other matter. Unbelievable. Kathy Butler popping in for a short while. Hope everyone is doing well. Kathy, we are. And thank you for joining me and all of your help with my promotion of my channel. I love it. Wendy Thompson, Peter, I'm giving my winter coat away so I can enjoy Florida winter. Wendy, don't be so quick about that. Just don't be too quick about that. You might just kind of want to keep it in the closet, and just in case you get one of those freaky storms where Atlanta gets snow and you're into the 40s with a bit of wind. You may regret giving it away, although it's a nice symbolic gesture. I can say that for sure. As Sylvia's here, hi Bruce and everyone. 76 degrees in Greensboro, North Carolina. Welcome back, Sylvia and Kathy Butler. I would be happy if they cut out the Broadway shows and showed first-run movies instead. I never liked them. Kathy, it's one of those things where in the old days there were ocean liners that had a stage and they had like a showroom, but nothing like today's showrooms that are just marvels of modern technology with the lighting and the sound and the lasers and all the effects that they can have. But also the amount of training that goes in with these cruise lines to put on board entertainment like Broadway shows or other variety type shows. It is stunning. I had the pleasure of knowing a young guy through a buddy of mine who made it, got on to a cruise ship as an employee, as a dancer, and the amount of work that they had to do, stunning. When you found out, when you heard the behind the scenes work that they had to put in to just get the show up and started, and then to maintain that pace for cruise after cruise after cruise. Because for us, we're only on a cruise ship for 7 nights, 7 days, and then we're gone. And then a whole new batch of travelers comes on the next ship. The next load might be 2, 3, 4,000 more people, all expecting to be wowed. And these folks stay behind and do the show again and again. Now, they might be on stage 4 nights out of 7 or 3 out of 7, but each show they're doing is a completely different show. All different choreography, all different music, all different staging, costuming, everything. And each week's presentation of that show has to be like they're doing it for the first time in front of the most enthusiastic crowd there is, in all kinds of sea conditions. And that's the other kicker. We get to sit in the seats and just fold our hands and say, wow me. These folks are on stage, and sometimes the stage is tilting a little bit because the ship is moving, baby. It's in the evening and we're at sea heading to the next port. These folks are dancing on a stage that sometimes is moving in front of them. It's an amazing thing to think about. They're young, they're strong, they're dedicated, and they love doing it. And they either cut it or they're gone. And if they can't cut it, they're dumped and replaced. And so every year your contract comes up, or every 6 months your contract comes up, and you don't know whether you're going to be picked up or not. And so you're kind of hoping that during the cruise you get a new contract offer for 6 months further out with a one month off, and then you're back for 6 more months, and away you go. But before you get back onto the same ship or another ship for the next contract, the 6-month contract might have 1 month of rehearsals at headquarters where the choreographers are located, because the shows change all the time. They might have a set series of shows for 6 months, then they have a new set of shows for the next 6 months. You've got to learn a whole bunch of new routines, 3 new routines, each one an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half long per routine, every 6 months. And so you're off for a month, licking your wounds and recovering and resting. Then you're going to head office to learn your next routine for a good 2 to 4 weeks, getting fitted out with new costumes, new everything, going to your ship, meeting up with it, and now performing on that cruise ship for the 5 or so months of your contract, and then waiting for your next offer and finding out whether your request to go on ship such and such or this itinerary over here is accepted. And if you've got a new offer, and you're going to learn a new set of routines again and again and again. So after 5 years, you've done a ton of different shows, a whole tons of new routines. And in effect, once you leave the cruise ship business as a dancer performer, you are the perfect person to open a dance studio in whatever hometown you want, because you have experience at sea, on stage, in front of gazillions of audiences. You've done a billion routines through thick and thin, through good days, bad days, headache or not, cold or not. You're on stage. You make a perfect dance instructor for the next crop coming behind you, and maybe 1 in 500 students that you'll have may dance professionally for a limited period of time, or may not. You just don't know. The odds of getting on a cruise ship or being in a Hollywood production number or anything like that are astronomically difficult. You have got to have unbelievable dedication, drive, fitness, stamina to make it, and very few do. It's quite a world. But like, I hear you. If you'd rather watch a movie, you watch a movie. But right now, showrooms, they're packing them in with live performers because the folks are just getting wowed with these performances and all of the props they're using, and all of the like the Cirque du Soleil type shows are just wowing people. It's incredible. Wendy Thompson, no, it is a real winter coat. A mountain horse tested it. Norway, very, very warm. Wendy wants to get rid of this coat so bad. You can just feel it. That's great, Wendy. Paul Willigas, Wendy, when I lived in Florida, there were times it got down to the 20s. I was at Disney World one year and we had snow flurries. That's great. As a seakeeper, I enjoy Holland America's cruise shows where the staff puts on a show. Why they wait tables and clean rooms is beyond me. They are very talented people in a lot. Again, live performer for me. I remember that on the Amsterdam, the last day, they had a performance by the crew. A whole bunch of them would get together and they would have a production, and there'd be a singer and there'd be some dancers and there would be just all kinds. And the crowd came out. It was just packed show, packed, and they were saying their goodbyes. Very emotional. Really something. These folks live to be on these cruise ships. They're so grateful for the work they're doing, and they just get. I found that the passengers adored the staff on the Amsterdam, on the Holland America Amsterdam. Didn't find the same on other cruise lines like I did on the Holland America ship, to be honest. Just my personal opinion. Desi Wagner, Bruce, I made it 80 Fahrenheit in Chicago. Disney, welcome to the show. My Chicagoan, I own that town. You know I own that town. Love it. Get more people to watch. I'm glad to have you here. Peter Heckema, the lowest temps I've ever experienced in Tarpon Springs was 26 degrees, but usually back to 70s by the afternoon. Yes, it can happen. Debbie Manuel, hi, Desi. Tommy Eaton, is there a website that will give you the entertainment that will be on your specific cruise? Or do we just get surprised? Just curious. That's a good question. I don't know if there's a website, but I'm wondering about if you go to the website of the cruise line, say Norwegian or Princess or whichever, you may find an idea of the themes of their shows. But I don't know if you'll get the exact itinerary. That I can't answer. The only way I can say, Tommy, to find out if you know in say 3 months from now you're booked on ship whatever, you can go online to YouTube, which is what I would always been doing anyway, and look up YouTube videos of people who've been on the ship recently and see what entertainment they were mentioning that was on the ship, and that's one way you kind of get the insight from them. But again, some of these cruise ships being so huge, there isn't just one show. There are 5 venues to go see a show, and every night they're all different, each and every one of them. So you just can't see it all. It's just unbelievable. Paul Wilgus, Peter, wasn't it in the 80s that Florida had a big freeze that lasted a few days that wiped out the orange crop for a couple of years? I think that has happened several times. Yeah. Kathy Butler, laugh out loud. Okay, Bruce, if we're on a group cruise, I'll let you know. I will let you make me a believer. It's okay, Kathy. I'm not trying to talk you into watching live entertainment. I'm just going off on a riff. That's all. Peter Heckema, yes, Paul, the late 80s it happened. There was a big freeze in Florida. Peter saying you can usually book shows ahead of time, log in, and you'll be able to see what shows are on. Well, there you go. Tom Eaton, thank you, Peter. So there you go. So there's maybe a way to figure it out. Just go to the website and find your ship and see what they're showing for entertainment. Some cruise lines may have a little more information than others. Yeah, pretty neat. What else was I going to talk about here today? I had a little few little news tidbits for you guys. One piece of news had to do with the ship that we've been following a little bit called the Norwegian Sun. This is the ship that was the infamous reconstruction cruise ship that Norwegian ran for 4 consecutive cruises, exposing 8,000 passengers to I don't know what kind of chemicals. Just terrible. It was refurbished in Victoria. It has just completed its repositioning cruise to Fort Lauderdale, all the way from Seattle through the Panama Canal. Reports on board were glowing. People are very happy. There was no construction that they saw or witnessed or had to tolerate. The work was done as far as what they saw. There was some reports that there was work being done below the decks in the passenger, in the crew area, more probably in the kitchens and storage and engineering departments. But on board the ship where all the passengers were above the waterline, no one complained about any issues whatsoever. Anyway, that ship now has begun to run its 3 and 4 night cruises to the Bahamas for 3 nights and to Cuba for 4 nights. Now, the Norwegian Sun has just shifted from way it used to be run, which was 1 week cruises through the Caribbean, whatnot, where you would you'd board, you'd pay for your room, taxes and fees extra, gratuity extra, and then you could get specialty restaurants, or you could buy a drink package or pay a la carte. Now, all cruises going forward on the Sun, the alcohol and drinks are included in your fare. So in effect, they've priced the cruise with a drink package built into your cruise. Specialty restaurants are still additional. Port charges and fees are additional, but tipping is now $20 a day. As far as the last time I read this, correct me if I'm wrong, $20 a day mandatory. So if you're on a 4-day cruise, it's $80 a person for tipping, times two, $160, and that's part of the deal. There's no getting out of that, apparently. Drink packages, it's the basic drink package. So if you want a fancier, high-end 18-year-old scotch that would run 12 or 15 bucks, they might cover 5 or 7 of that. You cover the rest. But if you want a rye and Coke or a beer, or just a glass of wine, it's likely part of your drink package. I don't know about the cappuccino bar for a latte or anything like that. That might still be extra. I'm not sure on that. And as far as soft drinks go, I don't know about the soft drink package. I'd like to think that the basic drink package covers soft drinks, but I don't know the details on that. Anyway, what I did notice about the cruises being offered to the Bahamas and Cuba was pricing was $210 to $250 a night per person on essentially a 20-plus-year-old cruise ship that had just gotten refurbished in Victoria. So you don't have all the bells and whistles of a Royal Caribbean or a Norwegian Bliss cruise ship at all. You're on a basic, 20-plus-year-old ship. I'm sure it's in fine shape now with all the work being done on it. But you're paying the kind of pricing you would pay to go on a Viking cruise line, or the kind of pricing you're paying for $250 a night. You can be in the Haven Club on a number of the Norwegian cruise ships, or you could be in the upper level. Is it the concierge level they call it on Royal Caribbean? For $250 a night, you can be up there, and you're getting specialty dining. You're getting concierge service. You're getting a private swimming pool. You're getting a cabana. All these features. Princess has that as well in their upper level, area. The old MSC Seaside, you want to go on an MSC Seaside cruise for a week, $650 for a balcony. They're offering a drink package right now with that. And if you go a higher grade on the MSC Seaside, you'll go up to the yacht club, $250 a night. You're in the yacht club, and you've got spa access. You've got drinks. You've got the nice meals. You're on a brand new cruise ship. Why would you go on the Norwegian Sun for a 3-day cruise? But what's happening, and I will call it a spade, I think the Norwegian Sun is being turned into a booze cruise ship. They're running 3- and 4-night booze cruises to Cuba and to the Bahamas on the Norwegian Sun. And they're just charging you for the booze, whether you drink it or not, as part of your package. That's just what it is. And maybe that's the only way Norwegian can keep the Sun running in a profitable way, because the Norwegian Sun doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the larger, newer ships. However, it's not old enough to give up. So why don't we adapt this ship as a all-inclusive deal, they call it, which it isn't. It's just a drink package, and then run it that way for 3 and 4 nights. And that's the second of, I think, 3 ships that are going to be used like this by Norwegian going forward, because the studies tell them that a lot of folks can only get 3-4 days away. They can maybe get a 5-day holiday in, and they just want to get a 4 or 5 day or 3-4 day cruise in with a 1 or 2 days of traveling, and that's the extent of their vacation. And so they go on the Sun, and it's all inclusive, and they can get hammered and enjoy themselves. I personally wouldn't be taking the kids. If I had 6 and 10-year-olds, I wouldn't be on the Norwegian Sun for a children's cruise. I just wouldn't do that. I would pay the extra money to go on a Disney, or I would go on Norwegian, or I would go on a larger Norwegian ship like the Bliss or the Getaway or the Breakaway, whatever, all these others. Take them on those ships with a lot more amenities for the children. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, that was the Norwegian Sun. Let me just check up any more messages here. What do we got? Desi, hi, Debbie. Work always gets in the way on the first show. Ruthie B, hi, Bruce. 90 degrees in Tulsa. Hi, Ruthie. Going on Oasis of the Seas, June the 3rd. My hubby, Steve, says hello. Steve, how you doing there, pal? Do whatever Ruthie says. Life will be good. Although you probably already know Ruthie, that's great. Oasis of the Seas, June 3rd. I'm gonna tell us. Please tell us all about it when you get back. And if you can tell us when you're on board, if you can join us when you're on board, even better. Let us know how your cruise is going. This is awesome stuff. Debbie Manuel, Desi, I so agree. Darn it. Work always gets in the way of the show. I'm sorry, girls. That's the way it is. Other news. I read today, Silversea, the cruise line Silversea, the Silver Spirit cruise ship with Silversea's. That's the ship they cut in half and added 49 feet into. They added a 49-foot section in the middle of this cruise ship. The 6-star. This is a 6-star line, high-end everything. They before they went into dry dock to even cut the ship in half, they docked. Sorry, they took the ship to a port nearby, and this is in Italy, and I'm not sure if it's in Genoa or exactly where they did this. And they had all after all the passengers are off, and then the crew basically got off as far as all the hotel staff and so on. They basically had all the furniture removed from the ship in all the public areas, all the furniture from all the cabins removed, all the bedding, all the televisions, the covering, everything, any stick of furniture off, all donated to local charities for homeless people, for folks who are, trying to get on their feet and that type of thing, all to charity, because the entire cruise ship was going to be, dry docked and re-renovated, including brand new everything. So not only did they cut it in half and add a 49-foot section and put it together again, they refurnished the entire ship. They refurbished all of it. So there's new carpeting, new flooring, there's new walls, probably new chandeliers, new lighting, new television sets, new beds, new tables, couches, deck furniture, everything, all the public spaces, all restaurants completely refurbished, all of them, all 8 of them now. In the middle of this refurbishment, I've been told it was upwards of 90 million US dollars to refurbish this ship. It's now 600 and how many feet long? Did I get that somewhere? 691 feet long. So it's about 50 feet longer than before, and they increased passenger capacity by 12%. And that 12% increase in capacity, being mainly balcony suites, will bring in top dollar. We're talking 500 to 1,000 a night on a number of occasions. The best deal I could find on that ship on a per night basis would be a repositioning cruise, or early November, early December cruising in the Caribbean. Even then, 350, 320, 370 a night per person is the best deal you're going to get on this cruise ship. That's how high end it is. And with its renovations all in place, all new, everything installed, new bedding and everything, this is going to be one beautiful luxury liner, to say the least. And if you ever get the chance to get on her, do her. They said that they were in dry dock for 59 days. They had 1,000 workers on that ship from time to time overall, 1,000 skilled workers on that ship, 450,000 hours of work that was put into that ship. And the statistics on the cabling and the tubing and the piping and the steel, it was just staggering what they did. They in effect rebuilt the entire ship. It's not as simple as cutting in half, putting a section and putting it together and go. They redid the whole deal. Unbelievable. So Silversea, Silver Spirit, it's up and running and will now start accepting passengers again at top dollar. And if you want 6-star luxury, here you go. This should be something. Kathy Butler saying, would love to be able to afford the Silversea. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't mind being on that one. Pretty cool story. Last story I have for you today is concerning the country of Qatar, or Qatar. Qatar, Q-A-T-A-R, Qatar. It's located in the Middle East. It is very close to the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. It is also close to Iran. It's close to Kuwait and across the Strait of Hormuz from Iran. Iraq and Iran, I guess. The country of Qatar is very wealthy. One of the highest standards of living in the world is in Qatar. If you ever got a chance as a employee of a corporation to be placed there, to be transferred to the Qatar office of your company, you would be well compensated there, and you would have a pretty nice lifestyle, because the city, the actual country and city itself, very high standards, Western standards. Education is free right through university. Healthcare is fully provided, and it's world class. The country, apart from their airline, which owns and operates a number of jets and flies all over the world, including direct nonstop flights into the United States, they are now going after the cruise market. They've determined that cruise lines are finding that Dubai is after the business. And they figured that if they were to operate and open a brand new state-of-the-art port facility to accept cruise ships, they will come. If you build it, they will come. That's the saying. They welcomed last year 65,000 visitors, which is a 39% increase in visitors, which, they're proud of that, but that is nothing for what they're after. They are now in the middle of an expansion of their port facilities just for cruise ship arrivals. Forget about all the cargo work. They already have cargo facilities like you can't believe. It's a major hub for cargo vessels already. They're now building port facilities that will handle 2 Oasis-class ships simultaneously without tendering. So they're looking for 12,000 people a day, the ability of 12,000 people a day coming off cruise ships and visiting Qatar. Last year, they said that they had 53% of their visitors took city tours of the area, and 18% took desert tours, went out in dune buggies and went out into the desert and saw all kinds of stuff out there. The whole world that I'm not familiar with, really. The surveys, 94% happy. People just loved it. They just loved popping into Qatar. Qatar and Dubai are the 2 cities that are the most popular. Muscat in Oman, just a little off, 70 miles away from Dubai, also a popular spot. So cruise lines have figured out, you know what, we can do a 1-week cruise in the Persian Gulf here with these 3 major centers to give folks a bit of culture and a bit of history of the area, see the modern structures of Dubai, the tallest building in the world, some of the largest shopping malls on the planet, take them to Qatar, take them to Oman. Wow, this would be something. Anyway, the estimates by within 7 or 8 years, they expect 500,000 passengers a year to be visiting Qatar, up from 65,000 now. They're expecting to go to 500,000. So there's some serious plans in place. And this is a kingdom that has the money to deliver the goods. There will be no shortage of air-conditioned buses to take you wherever you want to go. There'll be no shortage of tour guides fluent in all the languages necessary to handle passengers from Europe, North America, South America, wherever you come from, not a problem. The food is world-class. The facilities will be world-class. And it wouldn't surprise me that cruise ships, in some cases, will start to call Qatar their home port, or perhaps Dubai the home port. And there will be cruises between these centers and then out through to India and back. This is an area that this region really wants to get their hands on. The only issue, of course, is the neighbors. Can all the neighbors get along with everybody? And can Uncle Sam get along with all the neighbors that are there? That's the only thing that screws it all up. But Qatar is not thinking about this year's problems or next year's problems or 3 years from now or 5 years from now. They're thinking 10, 20 years from now. They want to go after a huge portion of this tourism market that Dubai has got a nice piece of the action of already. They want their share. So there's Abu Dhabi with the Ferrari Museum, and there are universities down there now, U.S. satellite universities. It's incredible. The expansion down there is just massive. And these brand new Boeing jetliners and Airbus jetliners are flying hundreds and hundreds of passengers per flight from London, Hamburg, Berlin, Frankfurt, Paris, New York, from Tokyo, Sydney, Australia, the world. I mean, these places, Qatar, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, are becoming world travel hubs for the world's airlines. And they're open for business big time. And for us as tourists, could be the deal of deals. We may find that cruises in that region will be so affordable that we're going to have decisions to make every once in a while. We're going to say, well, you know, we could take a cruise, say from Florida. If you live in Florida, very easy decision. Just cruise out of Florida. But if you live in Seattle and you want to go on a cruise and you've done a Caribbean cruise for 2 years in a row, and you've done an Alaska cruise already, you want something completely different. Well, how about flying on Emirates or on Qatar Airways from Seattle to the Middle East nonstop in a brand new jet plane where economy is like the economy of the old days? You remember when we had forks and knives in economy? This is the economy section. And we can take a 1-week cruise or a 10-day cruise in that region for, you know, the price of a Caribbean cruise. That could be a game changer, a real game changer. For Europeans, no brainer. You can fly from London Heathrow to Qatar for $350 one way on sale. You probably get a $450 flight round trip, all in from London to Qatar on a cruise ship for $700-800 for a week, all inclusive. Why wouldn't you take that? Guaranteed warm weather, all the amenities, air-conditioned suites. And if you stay in a hotel for a night or two before or after the cruise, world-class hotels. Absolutely. The Hiltons are there. The Marriotts are there. The Ritz-Carltons are there. It's all first class. Interesting change and a contender going for a market. They want market share. And if certain regions of the world are going to slip in quality, selection, interest, excitement, value, here's an area that's willing to pick it up and grab it, because you can bring in foreign workers into Qatar, into Dubai, into Abu Dhabi, into Oman, without any hassle whatsoever. The paperwork to bring in foreign workers from the Philippines, from Indonesia, from Thailand, fluent English speakers, by the way. Piece of cake, all hardworking, healthy, happy to have the job. They'll come in for a 6-year or a 6-month or 1-year contract and work on a cruise ship there, or in the hotels, or in the construction trade. They're grateful for the work. Unlike trying to get a job in the United States, you know, any company who wants to bring in Filipinos or bring in, say, Indonesians or Taiwanese into the United States for a 1-year work contract, good luck with that. You're not going to bring them in, not a chance. But you're not going to find Americans who will work that hard either. That's the other issue. So over here in the Mideast, my goodness, they've got a pool of labor that is just begging to get in, will work as hard as it takes to keep the job. And for tourists coming in, oh, it's going to be spoiled rotten. Absolutely spoiled rotten. It would be, it's going to be a most interesting change, because right now Dubai is expanding their port facilities for cruise ships. Abu Dhabi is following right behind. Now we've got Qatar. I'm sure Bahrain will come in there, and away we go. This will be a most interesting change as time goes forward. Any more comments? Let's see what we have here. Kathy, I think it's amazing they can cut a ship in half and add a section. Yeah, they've been doing it for quite a while, but it is amazing. The logistics, the engineering, incredible. Peter Heckema, Tommy, when we book a cruise, we always book our show and specialty restaurant at the same time. The reservations go on your cruise card, and then you have no wait time. Just swipe your card and get right in. There you go, Peter. Good advice, Peter. Tracy Dunlap, that will be another on my bucket list, she says. Thomas Henry, oh good, I got here before you all left. My phone must be out of data. Could not get it to work today. Thomas, what's going on? This is a crisis. I'm on tonight at 8. Don't miss my trivia show. Tommy Eaton, thanks, Peter. Thomas Henry, I love the comics and the acrobatics. We had both on the Star this cruise, and they were very good. Fantastic. Wendy Thompson, I would wonder how Americans and women, American women, are treated, or how to dress, act in a Muslim country. Well, Wendy, the key here is in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, in Qatar, you're not expected to be wearing any kind of a burqa or anything like that. There might be headscarves required. which will be easily found on board the ship. The folks on the cruise ships will take good care of you. They'll help you with all the customs and everything you need. However, these tourist spots that they are developing, and these the outings, like the tours, are absolutely designed for the comfort and enjoyment of the Western traveler, the first world Western traveler. So that is United Kingdom, Germans, French, Italians, Spanish, Canadians, Americans, Brazilians, all of us who are, on the outside, who have our liberties and what we enjoy and what we consider normal. They are very welcoming to us in their zones. Now, you want to go to Qatar and try to change the world over there? I wouldn't recommend it. don't go over there on like some kind of a missionary work or anything like that. You're on a holiday, go with the flow. But on the cruise ships, you'll look at there will be Royal Caribbean ships there. Norwegian will be there. Holland America will be there. Not Carnival, maybe not that brand, but Princess will be there. And of course, the 6-star lines. They will all be there. And on board the ships, it is as if you're in North America. Absolutely, completely comfortable. They will have cuisine from the area, but they'll also have cuisine from home. You'll never feel out of place. And they'll welcome you with open arms. Believe me, they will. They are actually looking to enter more of the Western world than close themselves off from the Western world. So I think you'll find it. If you ever get the chance, I think you'd enjoy it. But there are limits. You don't go to the shopping mall in Dubai wearing a bathing suit with a sarong over it. No, you don't be doing that. And there are no makeout sessions between boyfriend and girlfriend in the middle of the shopping mall. You're not going to be doing that. So there are rules. It's everything in moderation. Discretion is the way, and you have to understand that you're the guest. You're not the owner. You're not the conqueror. You're the guest of the country or territory or city, and so as such, we adjust to the area within reason. But you'll find that the restrictions aren't like onerous or anything like that. No, and we don't have to go to prayer. Don't worry about that. When they sound the call, you don't have to go. It's okay. Thomas Henry, I'll put a good plug in for Portugal Air. We had great meals and a great snack yesterday, both with real silverware. Fantastic. Thanks for telling you that, Thomas. That's really cool because there's very few videos out there about Portugal Air, TAP. Everybody talks about the big major carriers and these secondary guys. These folks have to try harder to get your business. They do, because they're just not as well known outside of their territory. So that's very good, Thomas. Seakeeper, I'm a dual citizen, the Canadian and U.S. I own, what is that? Jelabas? What is that? And I know how to act in a Muslim country. Oh, I would go to Qatar tomorrow morning. No questions asked. Thank you, Seakeeper. I was hooked up on that word. Absolutely. Going to Qatar, going to Dubai. You're in a foreign country, just like going to Germany. You're in a foreign country. Going to Tokyo, it's a foreign country. There's things you don't do in Tokyo, you do in Philadelphia, and vice versa. But to Qatar, very Western, very much so. That's why there's a reason why there are so many expats who are in Qatar and Bahrain, Dubai, and elsewhere, Abu Dhabi. Very comfortable lifestyle, very good lifestyle, excellent living, all the amenities you could imagine, and they enjoy it. People stay longer than a year. They generally like to stick around a while, and there are families. I mean, expat families, not just singles. Talking families too. Unlike, say, in Saudi Arabia at an oil compound, you're an oil worker. Maybe you're working on the rigs themselves, or you're a production analyst, or you're in the accounting department. You're living in a compound, and you're taking the same. Maybe you're getting transportation to work, and you're working in that compound, and then you're back to your compound. Where here in Qatar, they don't necessarily have compounds, or in Dubai, you go wherever you want, and it's quite comfortable. And that's why they have, in Dubai, massive shopping malls, and you're hanging around 3-level, 4-level shopping malls going to the food court here, seeing a movie over there, picking something up over there. It really is something. It's quite something to see. On my bucket list, for sure. Thomas Henry, is Harmony of the Seas the new ship? It was a bit dark, but the Norwegian Epic and I think the Harmony came into Barcelona port after us on Sunday. That was that OTS was a huge ship, the OTS of the seas. The Harmony is the second newest ship from Royal Caribbean in the Oasis class. The new one is the Symphony of the Seas. That's the new big one, and it has been using Barcelona in the Mediterranean for its inaugural cruises. So if you saw the Harmony, then it was definitely the second latest one. 3 years old, 2.5 years old, 3 years old, where the Symphony of the Seas is about 2 months old or a month and a half old. Seakeeper, they will set up infidel tourist sections. Yes, they'll have all kinds of events for the infidels. Yeah, they want the money. They want our money. Thomas Henry, VCU has a campus in Qatar, Virginia Commonwealth University, and I have driven the students when they come to Richmond, mostly girls and very untraditional for Muslim dress. There you go. Yeah, very good. Yeah, they're quite happy to come to the U.S. as we're happy to go there. Jane Peters is here. Good morning, all. Auntie Jane is here. Nice day for us here in New Zealand. Welcome, Auntie Jane, to the show. Kind of catching me towards the end here. Thomas Henry is saying they do love to shop, though, and they don't pack lightly. 2 large bags each, plus they stop to buy more bags to hold their purchases. Laughing out loud, no room on the bus for all the bags. Right on. They've come to spend and take home some souvenirs and you name it. Awesome stuff. Tracy Dunlap, Wendy, Wendy says, Tracy says, Wendy, when we travel to the Mideast, just dress appropriately with discretion. Always know that I'm a guest there in their country. That's exactly right. Conservatively, not too garishly, and you'll be just fine. Jane Peters, yes, Tracy, would liken it to someone visiting your home, I guess. Yep. Randy Lucas, by the way, Bruce, I drove through the foreign country of Bakersfield in my big-ass RV. Just hit Nevada state line. Woo-hoo-hoo! He's 100 miles west of Vegas when this show started, and crossing into the Nevada state line with his big-ass RV. Randy, one of these days we're going to have to compare notes about how big our big-ass RVs really are, because, I did a whole story about my big-ass RV and how I got it. What a story that was. Wendy Thompson, I'm a jeans and T-shirt or bottom-up shirt wearer. Comfy, some would say modest. Scott Batchley, Randy. Debbie Manuel is laughing out loud. Randy as well. Loving it, Randy. You're traveling, you're on the road. He's got itchy pants. They got traveling pants. They can't. They got ants in their travel pants. That's what it is. They got ants in their travel pants. They can't stay at home. They just got back from 3 consecutive cruises, back to back to back. Ended up in Copenhagen, flew back to California. Now, a week later, they're in their big-ass RV heading to Nevada. Way to go. Okay, it's all good. We were just talking about gas prices yesterday, how much gas is, and I'm sure you're going to fill your rig up once in Nevada. Get out of California on fumes and then load up on fuel in Nevada, because it's, I'm sure, quite a bit cheaper than in California. And if you're heading to Arizona, it'll be cheaper again than even Nevada. So yeah, pick up some gas for that big ass RV of yours and keep her going, running her down the road. Fantastic. All righty. Well, I think I'm at the end of my show here, because I'm on at 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is in 1 hour and 40 odd minutes. Trivia night. Let me just take a look at these questions I got going here. Trivia questions. Oh, I got one here. Oh, you like sports? I got one about sports. Oh, I got something else here about food. You like food? I got something about food. I've got something here about Americans. Oh, I got something here about Americans. And then I've got something here about, well, foreigners. I guess, I got all kinds of questions. I got pages of trivia locked and loaded, ready to roll at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I invite you to come on by and enjoy. Wendy Thompson went on to say, Randy, when you get to Kalamazoo, stop for donuts at Sweetwater Donuts if you're going that far. Scott Batch, I see y'all later. Let's see, how many thumbs up we got so far? 23 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. Love getting those. We'll take all the thumbs ups we can get. Thanks again for all your support on my store. I've been getting photos from you on what these items look like. You've been giving me the thumbs ups on the quality of the t-shirts, the quality of the units. I know here I've got a photo here. Peter Heckema wearing his t-shirt. Look at that. He just picked that thing up last week. He just got it. Awesome. With a nice scene behind him there. God, that's driving me nuts. Awesome stuff. And I know I think I've shown this photo before. This is the t-shirt with the dolphin on it. That came in very nicely. Fantastic. And I know we've got pictures that have come out of a number of the coffee mugs that are starting to arrive. People are getting their mugs in, and I love that. Folks are sending me suggestions for crews for t-shirts. What kind of logo we should add to the t-shirt selection? I've got that in my brain too. Fantastic ideas. Looking forward to seeing if we put any of those together. Yeah, it's all good. I'm very appreciative of all of you folks supporting the store and picking up a few items. I will be wearing shorts not too long from now myself. I've been waiting to get a big order in, a larger order in for my own arrival, and then I'll be starting to wear my own shirts on the air. So you'll see them, what they look like on me. Might help you decide. Crash 3X is saying, hi, Crash 3X, where have you been? From Ottawa. Where have you been lately? It's nice to have you back. Been a while. Jim Thomas, can't wait. Debbie Manuel, yeah, can't wait for trivia. See you guys in a bit. Bye, Bruce. Crash 3X, it's been a long while. Oh, has it ever? Has it ever? Welcome back to the show. We're going on at 8 o'clock tonight, so that's in an hour and 45 minutes. With trivia, get ready, and I'll put you guys to work. So, Debbie Manuel, can't wait for it. I'm going to say, Crash UX saying my mom passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. That is a sad story. And I'm sure you had to take care of a whole lot of stuff that you just don't want to have to do. And it is a depressing time. I know that when my mother-in-law passed away, and then years later, father-in-law, that's difficult because it shows you we're next. We're the next gen. I hate that. There was a time where we were kids and there were grandparents. Then there were parents with all those aunts and uncles. And then there was us. And so the idea of getting old didn't matter. It was like way out there. It's getting closer every day, isn't it? It bugs me. It's one of the things that bugs me about life. Don't like that. But Debbie Manuel, sorry to hear that, Crash. Crash, I'm hoping that you're getting better and you're coming around and that you'll join us again because I like to think that this is one of those happy places. We try to have fun here. And you're an integral part of the channel because you're my first ever person to react to my live stream back on Jan 6th. I was talking about that early in the show. When I just started my live streams, you were the first person to reach out to me to say, I see you. I'm watching you. How you doing? And it was the next show that I was able to actually talk back to you because I didn't know how to read the messages when I was doing my first live stream. I'm just talking to a computer going, is there anybody out there? Please let me know you're watching me. And sure enough, Crash 3X was there. I love it. Crash 3X, just me and Teresa M left now. We're getting up there, aren't we? But let's live a long, long time and justify it. How about that? Let's do that. Scott Batchley, sorry, Crash. I'm glad you're back, and let's just go. Let's move forward. And we have wonderful memories of our parents, and make ours going forward, and set an example to those behind us. Life goes on, and we move forward. I've got my mom, but my mom, she knows who I am. But there will come a day, I don't think too long from now, where she may not know who I am when I walk through the door. I have to accept that. I have to accept that inevitability. But for now, mom's happy, so that's good. But she's the last one left. Jen's folks are gone. My dad left back in 2000. But I always say in the case of my dad, he lived 71 years, and he got 142 years of life out of that body. He really did. He lived a life that was just what an example. He set an example for me on what can be done by an average person. If you want it, if you want life, you can grab it and make it a life worth living. And he did that in spades. Yeah, it would have been nice had he lived longer. Yeah. But on the other hand, when he went, and he got everything out of that soul, that being. It's amazing. And what an impression he's left behind, at least certainly with me. It's huge. Let's see here is going on. Crash saying thank you. Crash, the ship happens and we will keep cruising. Exactly, Darla. Sonny Wallace, sorry for your loss, Crash. We'll always be with you. Absolutely. If you want to know where she is, just touch your chest right there. There's a heart beating. That's her. Just like my dad, right there. Always there. Always. We sometimes forget. Well, on that downer, I got to go. I'm going to be back in an hour and 40 minutes, and I welcome all of you back for the trivia show. Crash, I hope you come tonight. I'd love to have you by, and we'll play some trivia. I got about 4 or 5 of these testers for you guys, and let's have some fun at 8 o'clock tonight. In the meantime, this is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce, saying thanks, everybody, for joining me today on my show, May the 8th, 2018. Coming up to 9 months on this channel. Unbelievable. Love it. And we'll do trivia at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll catch you in an hour and 40. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.